Hello, everybody. Okay. So, welcome to the stream of me playing the Detective Grimoire trilogy. As you can see, I'm already in theme with the detective genre. Hey, hello, Lan. Alright, so, what is Detective Grimoire? Well, Detective Grimoire is, I've already explained, it's pretty much like a Phoenix Wright, Professor Layton. Well, I wouldn't say Professor Layton. Professor Layton's a little bit more puzzle compared to this. But yeah, it's a quirky detective fiction game. Started off as a Flash game, which is what we'll be starting off with. And then they made a full trilogy out of it, even though, to be fair, the second game and third game barely reference the first one. But yeah, we'll see how the piece of history of the first game is gonna be like. So, why Detective Grimoire? I mean, I've been streaming the Shinobi 2002, I've been streaming Shinobi Art of Vengeance, I've been streaming Sonic Racing Crossworlds. All those games are totally different from from a point-and-click game like Detective Grimoire. Well, to be fair, the first stream, I was actually thinking about whether to do Shinobi 2002 or Ryan North's To Be or Not To Be, which is also a kind of point-and-click game. And I wanted to, specifically because I wanted the first stream, or the first big stream that I was going to do, was going to be a game that was important to me, or at least represents something of me specifically. And in the end, I chose for Shinobi 2002 because, well, I was still excited for Art of Vengeance. Still am excited for Art of Vengeance, even though it's already out. So that's why I chose Shinobi 2002. I will probably eventually do Ryan North's To Be or Not To Be, because that's still a lot of fun. Okay, so what is detective fiction to me? Well, I was a fan of Sherlock Holmes. Oh, I am a fan of Sherlock Holmes. But I specifically am a big fan of fair play whodunits. And the deal with fair play whodunits is the fact that you, as a viewer, are kind of participating in solving the murder mystery, because you're also kind of thinking alongside of, oh, here's the clue being represented here, and now I'll be thinking about it as the story goes on. Might as well just point out what makes something a fair play whodunit. So there's something called the Ronald Knox 10 Commandments of Detective Fiction. Okay, so there are 10 rules, and it says rules or commandments. Personally, I see them as guidelines because it's not that set in stone, plus it's also a little bit outdated at this point. So I might as well just point out each individual little rule one by one. The first rule: the criminal must be someone mentioned in the early part of the story, but must not be anyone whose thoughts the reader has been allowed to follow. Yeah, so this is all written with the idea in mind of books. So that's why they said the reader the reader should not have followed their thoughts. But yeah, why in the early part of the story? Well, it would be kind of anticlimactic if you've been following the story all this time, and then suddenly at the end they go, oh no, there's this other person that we haven't been following at all. There you go. That's the murderer. Well, it's not really satisfying that way, is it? So here's the second rule: all supernatural or preternatural agencies are ruled out as a matter of course. Personally, I don't agree with this one, mostly because they seem to believe, oh, if something is supernatural, you can just say it's magic, I don't have to explain it. Here's the thing: if you make a good magic system that is properly explained in a story, then you can just take that into account with the mystery. So I find that this rule, like, at most, the best way I can interpret this rule is if it's not properly set up. Like it's like a Deus Ex Machina that you have no idea how it was supposed to work, and suddenly this thing is there. But then again, there's another rule that kind of is like that. But anyway, here's the third rule. Not more than one secret room or passage is allowable. This rule is actually kind of a patch rule, because it used to be no secret rooms or passages at all. But in the end, they kind of figured, you know, secret rooms are kind of like a staple in detective fiction now. We can't exactly say, hey, let's just not do them anymore. So they compromised and said there can only be one secret room. And even then, again, I find that as long as it's a logical way for the characters to figure out there is a secret room, you can have as many secret rooms as you want, as long as it's properly set up. That's my personal opinion on that. Okay, so here's rule 4. No hitherto undiscovered poisons may be used, nor any appliance which will need a long scientific explanation at the end. So, poisons that are like, if you drink it, you die. That's simple. That's allowed. What they don't allow is if it's a long black adder like thing, like, and then you jump in a corner, and then this happens, and then this happens, and then finally you die. Like, it's, I guess, and again, as long as you at least make it a logical thing to explain, then it's fine. But it is a bit of a risk thing and such. Okay, now this one is probably the most aged one out of all of them. Rule 5. No Chinaman must figure in the story. So what's the deal with this? I mean, so am I just not allowed to be in detective stories or something? No, what they meant here is that at the time, Chinese people were like considered suspicious by nature and all that. So what they're talking about here is just people who are naturally suspicious from the start. They kind of color your opinion on the character before you actually start with the story, and thus it doesn't allow you to be fully doesn't allow you to be fully unbiased as a detective or as a reader. So if anything, modern day, you would say that it's like, well, even then, no butler must figure in the story, because the butler did it as like a very common trope and all that. Even so, I wouldn't say don't feature a butler, as long as you just immediately discredit the butler as the murderer as soon as possible. That's kind of how I see it. Yeah, oh man, there goes my free pass. Huh? Alright, so, rule 6. Yeah. No accident must ever help the detective, nor must he ever have an unaccountable intuition which proves to be right. This rule is probably the reason why a lot of Sherlock Holmes stories are not, in fact, fair play whodunits. To be fair, Sherlock Holmes was written before the 10 Commandments of detective fiction was written, so there was no rule for them to follow. But yeah, so no accidents or unaccountable intuition which proves to be right. That's Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock Holmes is theoretically so clever that he just knows this thing before you can even guess that was the thing going on. But this is also the case with accidents, because then you can just say, oops, he just fell, and oh, he just happened to find this this clue that was vital for everything. So the idea is that everything that the detective does in order to find the clues must be with purpose and must be something that you as the reader would have also done. So that's what Rule 6 is about. Rule 7. The detective must not himself commit the crime. The detective in this case is the main character, or at least the one solving the murder, or the main character. Let's just make it easy. So the main character should not be the one who commits the crime. Why? Well, that's because, well, in a thriller, that's fine. In thriller, that's part of the plot twist or something that you add in it. But In a fair play whodunit, you don't want the detective to be the one who commits the crime, because that means the detective has kind of been lying to you, the viewer, the entire time, which makes them an unreliable narrator, and they could have lied about every single clue all the time. So that no longer makes it fair. That's the reason why the detective must not himself commit the crime. Then there's Rule 8. The detective must not light on any clues which are not instantly produced for the inspection of the reader. So what they mean with that is that the detective should not hide the clues that they find. This is yet another thing why Sherlock Holmes tends to not be fair play whodunit, because he tends to hide his clues a lot, which is very annoying, actually. Like, especially annoying for Watson, if I'm going to be very honest. But, yeah, every clue that the detective finds, the viewer should see those clues too. Otherwise, it's not fair, and that means that the detective had a advantage all this time. Okay, so, Rule 9. The stupid friend of the detective, the Watson, must not conceal any thoughts which pass through his mind. His intelligence must be slightly, but very slightly, below that of the average reader. Like, okay, first of all, rude, calling Watson stupid. Like, he's above average in terms of cleverness, actually, in the books. Like, it's the Basil Rathbone movies that makes him like the dumb Holmes. What's going on, Holmes? Like that's Basil Rathbone's adaptations. So, yeah, but okay. So the stupid friend. Usually the stupid friend, I say in quotations, is yeah, poor guy. So the stupid friends here. Usually that's actually I wouldn't say the main character, but the perspective character. That's the character that you are following their perspective of, and he can't hide any of his thoughts, or else that stupid friend could actually end up hiding information from you, which should be information that you as a reader should also be able to follow. And then last is Rule 10. Twin brothers and doubles generally must not appear unless we have been duly prepared for them. Well, that's the key thing at the end. Unless we have been duly prepared for them. And that's kind of the crux of all the rules, actually. Every single one of these rules, they can be excused as long as you are properly prepared for them. Because that's what makes something fair play, is the fact that you are prepared for this thing, or at least it's properly foreshadowed, so that you can actually guess the murderer before the actual reveal. Of course, you can't have everything too predictable, otherwise it wouldn't actually be a mystery anymore. But yeah, those are the 10 commandments of detective fiction. And for Rule 7, could the detective be the culprit if they are not the perspective character? Yes, but it's a bit of a tricky one, because let's just say Watson is the perspective character, and then you have the Sherlock Holmes end up being the culprit. The problem is you as a viewer have been following Watson's perspective of Sherlock Holmes the entire time. To have Sherlock Holmes lie to Watson, like, it's fine in a thriller. It can be a bit of a betrayal of trust for the readers, if you know, oh, so the detective could have just lied to me this entire time. So yeah, so in this case, you could say stupid friend would be the perspective character, and the detective would be, well, the detective as written in Rule 7, Rule 8, etc. So yeah, I would say if you are going to do that in a story, make sure that it's properly set up. So that's pretty much, yet again, from Rule 10, unless we have been duly prepared for them. So if you have, in fact, properly set up Sherlock Holmes to be untrustworthy from the start, so there you go. Okay, so in that scenario, if there's a new character who's a detective, they could be the culprit? Yes. So Inspector Lestrade would be allowed to be the culprit, for example, because he is a detective, as in a character that's a detective, or an inspector specifically. That's fine, but he's not the one you've been following. He's just one of the detectives that, or one of the inspector characters. So that's fine. Like, distance enough from the main character, right? Yes. So pretty much that. So as long as you as the reader just feel like you were able to accomplish this without the trickery of the writer. That's kind of the thing. The characters are allowed to trick you, but if it feels like the writer is in fact tricking you, that's the problem. So, yeah. Cool. Yes. Alright. So, with that in mind, let's see. I am now going to switch over to the game, which is the first Flash game called Detective Grimoire from the Super Flash Brothers, SFB, from Armor Games, 2007. Okay, so let's see. So, yeah, it's a Flash game. Can you tell? It's as you can see, 2002. So it is an old game, like old game, like oh, hold on, okay, there we go. I've been plenty curious about the series for a while, but I was not expecting a Flash game to start with. Well, there you go. It's part of the history, I guess. Okay, so let's start. Okay, compared to the next two games, there is no voice acting. It's simply text and little grunts from the characters. So I am going to try for the characters that do appear in the next games who have voices. I will try to replicate those voices. So that would be for Detective Grimoire himself and a certain other character that appears in Secret of the Swamp, which is the next game. Like I said, I'm going to try to do their voices. Okay. All the other characters, they do not appear in the next games, so I can just try to replicate the voice heard through the grunts that they make when they talk. So we'll see. Let's play. Coils & Co. Fairground. Late last night. Okay, so I noticed is the chat updating? Okay, so, this is classic Flash goodness. I kind of miss seeing stuff like this. Yes, indeed. So, it's good. Okay, good. Okay, so, PD, so, Police Department, File 054. Victim, Hugh Everton, crime, murder. As in, the victim is Hugh Everton and the crime is murder, as in... Okay, so that... Oh, just one chat message then came through. Interesting. Okay, we'll keep an eye on that. At 10:28 last night, a body was found at the local fairground that operates just outside of town. The cleaner, one Jerry Spears, discovered the dead body of his former colleague inside the Hall of Mirrors. Twitched, I guess, yep. All the evidence points towards murder. The clown, Charles Ringer, who works at the very same fairground, is the main suspect. Okay, Charles Ringer. He seems to have some less than favorable links with the victims. If this grim case remains unsolved, the fairground manager, Mr. Gary Coils, has stated he will have to permanently shut down operations. Private Detective Grimoire has been called in to clear things up. We've got one evening to find the truth about what happened last night. If Grimoire can't solve this mystery, no one can. This really reminds me of Phoenix Wright, where it's always like this very tight time limit in order to solve this case and all that. And I'm like, really? Should you not have all the time necessary to do all this? But right, Officer James. So he's from, he's also in Secret of the Swamp, so I'll try to do the Josh Stromar voice. I'm not gonna repeat myself again, Grimoire. You're listening this time, right? Something pretty nasty happened here last night. I'd say everyone in that fairground is a suspect, and you've only got this one evening to do your thing. Okay, Edwin Tiong. My thing? Don't tell me you're getting nervous now. The other guys tell me you're the best at this. You're not gonna let me down, are you? It's your job to talk to the suspects and explore the fairground for clues. You'll obviously need to take a look at the crime scene. But don't overlook any details, understand? Right. I think I understand. I have a bad feeling about this place. I can't shake it. Everyone is a suspect. It's your job to find out who has a credible alibi and who is lying to you. You should be able to work out who the murderer is by proving everyone else innocent. If you're confused about what to do, don't hesitate to ask me. Alternatively, the tutorial information is available from your notes page. They gave a little shine thing, where you can also save your game. Okay, so what's with the mustache? That's neither here nor there. Tell me about it. That thing is here, there, everywhere. Okay. Okay, so if I skip so I can get the options again. There we go. Help. Okay, so little tutorial here. Objectives. What do I have to do? Everyone you meet will initially have a red suspect stamp on their profile. Once you discover everything you can about each person and clear up their alibis, those red stamps will be replaced by green stamps. You'll need to get a green innocent stamp for all the suspects, apart from one, obviously. Once you have proved everyone else innocent, go back and talk to Officer James. You'll need to know who the murderer is and what the murder weapon was. Then we'll go over the details. Wow. Remember, just because you've proven someone innocent doesn't mean you should stop talking to them. You might get some helpful responses to certain clues. I will try to talk to everybody about everything. That means there will be times when they repeat a standard, oh, I don't know anything about that. I'll just try to skip to them. Moving. How do I go between areas? You can move between areas you've already visited, but with the blue arrows in the bottom corners of the screen. The back arrow at the bottom will take you outdoors if you're inside a building. Once you have a map, you can use it to travel between locations quickly. You can also move around by examining doors and pathways. Makes sense, right? Makes sense to me. Talking. How can I talk to people? If you see someone in an area, examine them to start talking. They'll appear on the screen and you'll have entered talk mode. Click through the dialogue and choose different topics on the left side of the screen. You can also present clues to suspects from the clues menu. Simply click a clue when you're in the same area as a suspect to ask them about it. If you can't get enough information out of someone, try presenting clues that you think are relevant. Okay, clues. What are clues? You'll find clues scattered around the areas of the fairground, no doubt. Examine something if you think it might be a clue. They'll be important evidence for making your conclusions about what happened. You can also show them to people you see. Use the talk menu to do this. All clues are also automatically put down as notes in each area. Okay, notes. What's on the notes page? The notes page acts as a menu screen. On the left page, you can access notes about each area that will be automatically added as you explore the fairground. You can access all the tutorial information from the notes page. Don't forget to go over it if you get stuck. You can also save your game from the notes page. If you're getting tired, you can save and close down the flash window. Wow, flash. You're free to come back later and load in your game data. All information will be saved, so there are no worries. Frequently asked questions. I know who the murderer is. Why haven't I won yet? He You need to gather enough information to confirm the alibis of the other suspects. Once you've replaced all of the red suspect stamps with green innocent stamps on the profile page, then you can talk to Officer James about the details of the murder. I've talked to a person about all the topics that appeared. Why are they still a suspect? Sometimes you'll need to present a relevant clue before you can get the truth out of a person. Clear up their alibi and conclude that they are innocent. Think hard about what the different clues would mean to them. Why can I not travel to certain areas? Some areas are not available until you have progressed in the game. Incidentally, you cannot jump to a new area if it means skipping over another new area. You have to take it one step at a time. Basically, once you've been to the areas, you can go wherever you want in one step. Alright. So yeah, we have locations here, the car park. Officer James, this is where Officer James is waiting for me. Objective, I should return here when I have proven all the suspects' innocence apart from one. Here's the help again, here's the save. Alright, that's... Oh, there was one more thing that... Okay, so I'm ready. Okay, that's it, okay. Let's see, yeah, we can move to the Fairground entrance, but let's see what Detective Grimoire has to say about this place. There aren't any clues in the car park. I have to try a little harder than that. Huh? Wouldn't that be nice? There's someone there. Wait, what? Oh right, she also appears in the next game actually. Can't think of it. Okay, but well, we'll see how I do this. Hi! What on earth? Where are your parents? This is the scene of a crime. I know. That's why I'm gonna help you out, detective. Why did you say it like that? I'm a real detective. In that case, where's your hat? There you go, Grimoire. That's why I have a hat. If I had a nickel. Detectives don't have to wear hats anymore. Aw. Plus, it messes up my hair. I believe you. Anyway, hat or not, you're still gonna need this. A map of the fairground? Hey, thanks. See you later. I have no idea who that was, but I'm pretty sure she's not the murderer. Oh, quite a quick conclusion to make that, but okay. Oh my god, that's a creepy entrance. It is, isn't it? If you had a nickel, it could go to buying a hat. To be fair, that's a good point. Okay. Okay, so I'm pretty sure she's not the murderer. I sure hope not, anyway. Okay, so even to this point, out of all the games, we still don't know anything about what the deal is with this girl. She's gonna appear in the next game. She's not gonna appear in the Tangle Tower, but there's gonna be a little hint of her. But yeah, at this point, she's still kind of a mystery, actually. So we have a map, which means we can now just move quick travel to the different areas. So, whoops, I accidentally closed the game. Hold on. Let me just quickly speed run back there. Skip. I'm ready. Move to there. Get the map from her. Oh, yeah, okay. So yeah, I should make sure not to accidentally click the close thing. Okay, let's see. Yeah, what's with this creepy entrance? This place is pretty run down, but I can't see any clues yet. Okay, that's it. Oh, that's the same thing. Okay, I guess we'll move to outside the funhouse. There's someone here too. I'd better get this investigation underway. Hey, you over there. Okay, so it's like, okay. Who on earth are you? I'm Detective Grimoire. I'm here to solve the mystery of last night's murder. Right, I see it now. The trench coat and everything. Aren't you supposed to wear a hat too? That's beside the point. Hugh Everton was murdered last night, and you, Charles Rayner, you're a suspect. The main suspect, in fact. Oh, because I'm a clown? Who made that wonderful leap of logic? Look, I know Hugh and I never got on, but I can tell you one thing. I'm not capable of murder or anything close. Look at me. Is this the face of a killer? Do I have to answer that? I'm gonna have to get a little more information out of him, I think. Okay, so you notice the notes decided to shine a bit. That's because first the entrance has little girl. This is where I met the little girl. She gave me a map of the fairground. And now at Funhouse, we now have Funhouse outside. Charles Ringer. This is where I met Charles Ringer, the clown. So those are the notes. Okay. We have introduction. That's the same thing as what we had just now. So let's talk about last night. If you're not the killer, what were you doing last night? I was here, of course, you know, being a clown and all that. I left quite late last night, actually. I had a few holdups in the evening, but I didn't see anything suspicious. What was the last thing you saw before you left? Let's see. On my way out, I walked past the Hall of Mirrors and noticed that the door was slightly open. I closed it and carried on through the fairground. The only strange thing about that whole episode was how quiet the Hall of Mirrors door was. How quiet the Hall of Mirrors door was. Okay. Yeah. Oh right, yeah, the door. It normally lets out a loud creak when you move it. I think that's part of the attraction, you know. The Hall of Mirrors. That's the crime scene. I wonder why the door didn't creak that evening, and why would it be open? So yeah, why indeed. Okay. Next, the fairground, as in this place. So, you work as the clown at this fairground. How long have you been here? A long time. Too long, in fact. I don't really like the way things are going around here. I have no idea why I haven't left for good. I was appalled by the boss when the boss hired Hugh Everton to look after the funhouse. By the way, we're never gonna see Hugh Everton, so we'll just have to deal with work with just his name, I guess. Not only was he useless at his job, he was nearly completely deaf with old age. It's just not practical. Still, no one deserves, well, you know. Hugh was deaf with old age and not very good at his job. This could be important information. Do you get on with the rest of the staff? That'd be a bit of an exaggeration, I'm afraid. I don't mind Mandy and her uncle, but that Ricky, I'm a top-notch entertainer war character, is just too much. So yeah, that's 3 characters to keep in mind. There's Mandy, there's Mandy's uncle, and then there's Ricky Warrer, who's an entertainer, apparently. He doesn't even like kids. What a joke. He doesn't take any pride in his work. Looks like Charles finds it hard to get on with Ricky Warrer. He's the entertainer, I think. Oh yeah, that's what he just said. Also, who is Charles to talk about pride with that big hole in his costume? Maybe I should ask him about that. Yeah, so I think that's... Yeah, so rip clothes is now an additional thing to talk about. If you don't mind me asking, why is there a big hole in your trousers? Well, to put one foot in and the other feet in the other hole, but yeah. Surely you'd want to be a little neater than that, even if you are a clown. To be honest, I'd rather we didn't talk about the unfortunate condition of my frilly clown slacks. That's the first time anyone ever said that, I bet. Still, there must be more to the story of his ripped clothing. Maybe I can find a clue that will get him to elaborate. Yeah, so, right now we have no clues. If we have clues, we can present it to him. But that's the last thing we can talk to him about. Let's look at this funhouse. The funhouse is falling apart. I think it was the victim's job to look after it. Yeah, so Hugh Everton was meant to look after this funhouse. There's the funhouse door. The door is jammed. I can't get in this way. What a pain. There's also this small opening. There's a small opening here. I might be able to get in this way, but I'm not sure. I'll come back later. Yeah, so once we've explored all of the other environments, that's when we are able to open up this small opening. So that's it that we can, all the things we can do here. So let's just move to the hoop game stall. Okay, let's see. So get 5 points in 3 turns to win. $1. $1 for 3 hoops. Lol. Hugh was the victim, right? And him taking care of the fun houses. How long has he been dead for? Yeah. Okay. I can't be certain, but I don't think it's possible to win that ring toss game. I'm not going to try my luck anyhow. All right. What else? Oh, there's some old toys here. These toys look really cheap. Maybe I should ask Mandy about them. Well, I guess he already knows that this is Mandy apparently, but books. I wonder why there are so many books. I'll try asking Mandy about them, I suppose. So, that means we now have 2 clues. We have the old toys, Mandy's game staff, Mandy's game stall, Mandy's game stall. Mandy's game stall gives away these toys as prizes. They look very cheaply made. Books, Mandy's game stall. Mandy's large collection of books. What are they for? Okay, so these are things that we can ask Mandy about. But let's actually talk to Mandy first. Excuse me, miss. Do you work here? I'm pretty sure I do. The name's Mandy. Mandy Ferrier. I'm in charge of running this game stall. You seem a bit young to be working in a place like this, don't you think? You seem a bit young to be a private detective. Oh, are detectives only allowed to wear a hat when they reach a certain age? I'm older than I look. I'll have you know. Anyway, don't you could you tell me a little about yourself? I'm conducting an investigation to find out about last night's murder. Of course you are. Why else would you show up? Unless you're after some candy floss. Did you know it's actually bad for you? My powers of deduction do stretch that far. Grimoire getting roasted on all sides. Oh, sheesh. Throughout all the games, he's gonna be roasted on all sides. Yeah, the hat is a rank thing. Yeah, let's... I'm gonna assume it is at this point. Oh, let's see. Okay, so my powers of deduction do stretch that far, thanks. I'm not sure what to tell you. I've worked here for a little while. I got a job through my uncle. So there's the uncle again. This job is helping me pay for college, but it's a lot of fun too. I get to hand out toys to kids. Who doesn't want that? I wonder if her uncle is here at the fairground. Okay, so yeah, before I present the clues, let's actually talk about the things. So, last night. Could you tell me what you were doing last night? How could I forget, really? I was here late, like I normally am, just kicking about. Eventually, I heard I hear shouts coming from the Hall of Mirrors, and then Jerry, oh, that's the cleaner, he comes running over to me and starts telling me what's happening. I helped him call the police. After they showed up, we were allowed to go home. So, you were one of the last people here last night. It seems that way, but I was here at my stall the whole time. I had things to do, you know. I wonder why Mandy stays late every night. I think I should have a look around before I press her about it. So, here are all the profiles. Hugh Everton, he's deceased. You notice it says victim on the upper right corner. His job was to look after deceased. His job was to look after the fun house in the center of the fairground. He wasn't very good at it. He didn't get on with Charles Ringer, the clown. Hugh was nearly completely deaf with old age. Alright, Charles Ringer. At the moment, he's a suspect. Location, outside funhouse, occupation, clown. Charles is the police's main suspect in this case, since he did not get on with the victim, Hugh Everton. Charles doesn't get on with Ricky Warrer, the entertainer, either. Mandy Ferrier. Location, Mandy's game stall clerk. Mandy was one of the last people left at the fairground last night. She helped Jerry Spears, the cleaner, call the police. Okay, so that's the profiles. Let's actually talk. And of course, these profiles get filled up the more you learn about them. So let's talk to Mandy. That was last night, here at the fairground. Do you get on with the other staff here at the fairground? Oh yeah, the guys often argue amongst themselves, but I stay out of it. Charles the clown is a pretty hard guy to get on with, but he's got a good heart. I can't say I had a particular dislike for anyone, except, well, Jerry does get on my nerves, but he's sweet, I guess. Alright, that's something to keep in mind. I get on well with Hugh, although no one could deny he was pretty useless at his job. So yeah, even though she's soft to Hugh Everton, even she thinks he was useless at his job. The funhouse was always in a terrible state. Sometimes I tried to help Hugh with the repairs or ideas for improvements, but he'd never get anything done. I always figured the boss would replace him, but now look what's happened. Sounds like Mandy has an interest in the funhouse. So yeah, that's now added. Mandy expresses interest in running the funhouse. Okay, let's talk about the toys. I don't want to sound rude, but these toys look pretty cheap. I've never seen those characters anywhere before. What? You've never heard of Turquoise Bunny and his friend Ruby Rabbit? What about everyone's favorite, the King of Scare Felix? Or Jimmy, the Striped Horse? He's quite new, actually. He's quite a new one, actually. So yeah, there you go. I think it's the same thing if you just present toys now. Yeah, just the same thing. What? You've never heard of? Yeah. Okay, let's talk about the books. Mandy's game stall, Mandy's large collection of books. What are they for? Oh, they're just for when I get bored, you know? It can get pretty quiet around here. There are an awful lot of them. Are you sure they're just for light reading? Yeah, I mean, why else would I need them? I'm not sure about this, but I can't help thinking those books have something to do with what Mandy was doing last night. Okay, so this is a little mini game in order to, I guess, it's not so much a puzzle so much as just spice up the gameplay a little bit. So, get the truth. When a character is hiding something, you must perform an eye contact interrogation, ECI, to get the truth out of them. You control Grimoire's eye movements with your mouse. Hold your cursor to the left of his face to look away from the suspect. As soon as they begin lying, you should be able to tell there will be a white flash. Move your cursor to the right to look them in the eye. If you get it right, they will break down and tell you the truth. So, apparently it's just that easy. Just stare at someone, I guess. Now, move your mouse over to the back button and click to start eye contact interrogation. I'm going to let it fail first just to kind of read what they're saying, and then I'll actually try to succeed at it. So first I'll just fail personally. Can you tell me why those books are all over your desk? What are you up to? Can a girl have a hobby? I don't see why you're getting so worked up. I haven't even looked at half of them. So leave me alone, okay? I think I missed something. I need to look her in the eyes when she starts lying to catch her off guard. Right, let's actually try to do it now. Get a truth. There you go. Just stare them straight in the eyes and suddenly they tell the truth. Okay, you win. I'll tell you what I'm up to, since you seem so eager to know. I'm studying for my exams, and these are all my revision books. I need to bring them to the fairground because it's the only chance I get to go over them. Is that why you stayed late last night? That's right. I stayed late most nights and used the time alone to get some work done. Give him the Grimoire smolder. Yeah, maybe that's what's happening. He's just doing the smolder. And that's when oh god, I guess, oh sheesh, I guess I'll have to tell the truth now. My exams are in 2 weeks, and I'm totally unprepared. That makes sense. Why did you keep it from me, though? I'm not sure. I suppose I was worried you'd think I was weird, bringing my revision books to work like this. Don't worry. I don't think you're weird. Now I'm the only one who has been caught. Now I'm the one who has been caught lying. Why is it weird, Grimoire? Either way, I'm pretty sure this clears up Mandy's alibi. I think I can believe her about this. So, I think, at this point... No, she's still a suspect, so that means we still haven't talked about everything with her yet. Yeah, there's also, like, a space missing. There's gonna be another subject to talk about with her in order to properly clear her. Okay, I think that's it. All the things we can find here. Yeah, it's just the books and the old toys. So let's move right, which is move to the can game stall. Oh, hey, little girl. It's you again. You need to find your parents and go home. I'm afraid. I can't go just yet. You still need my help. I'm quite capable of carrying out this investigation without you, thanks. Although that map is really useful. I mean, I haven't used it yet, but yeah, sure. Really? Have you managed to get into the funhouse yet? There's a small opening to the left of the main door, in case you missed it, I guess. You need to find your parents and go home. Yeah. I'm afraid. Right? Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm definitely afraid of this girl. There's a small opening to the left of the main door. You can go through there. It'll lead into a small office where he used to work. Thanks, I guess. How do... She's gone. What a weird kid. I guess I'll try getting through that opening after I've checked out the scene of the crime. Okay, so what do we find here? There's a big space here. There's considerable space behind the table. Looks like there's no one there at the moment. Okay. Okay, there's a... Okay, first, that's the window. You can clearly see the Hall of Mirrors through that grubby little window. Okay, something to keep in mind. There's nothing about the ball, I guess. Although there is something just about the general thing. This place is a mess. There's no one here minding the stall. Okay, now, this green marker. What's this green marker pen doing here? I can't help feeling this is out of place. So, yeah, we now have the green marker at the empty game stall. A green marker pen, it is nearly used up. Okay, and that's it here, so move to outside the Hall of Mirrors. Yeah, here's the Hall of Mirrors, and yeah, okay, let's just talk to Ricky first. What kind of voice was it again? There's no grunt this time. I'll just do a voice. Hey there, kiddo! What's your name? It's Grimoire, Detective Grimoire, and I'm no kid, thank you very much. Sounds like somebody needs some candy floss. Did you lose your hat? Aww. I did not need any candy floss, and I did not lose my hat. Now, if you don't mind, I need to ask you about last night's murder. Hey man, no need to shout. That I did not expect. Can that guy really be a kid's entertainer? Yeah, so I'm the I'm the entertainer here. I entertain kids and stuff. That's great. Ricky Warrer, is it? That's it. So what do you want then? Well, I'm not very entertained, that's for sure. Okay, so there's a no. Oh, the game stall also has notes here. I found a green marker on the table here. It's nearly all used up. Space. There is a considerable empty space behind the table. Window. There's a clear view of the Hall of Mirrors from this little window. And we now have Hall of Mirrors outside. Ricky Warrer. This is where I met Ricky Warrer, the entertainer. Let's see. That's just what an interesting mascot costume. Yeah, like, is he supposed to be a cat? Like a big cat, maybe? I don't know. It's not like I saw any cat mascots on the entrance or anything. Alright, let's see. Window. I can clearly see the Hall of Mirrors, mirrors, light shining through the single window. There's also this little oil here. Some oil has been spilled right by the door to the Hall of Mirrors. And there's a red nose. A clown's red nose. I wonder what it's doing on the ground. Suspicious. Okay, so we can move inside the Hall of Mirrors. Let's see, what's the general thing that Grimoire has to say about this? This place has officially given me the creeps. Okay, let's talk to the usual subjects first before we move on to the clues. Before I add the introduction, last night. Right then, I need to know everything you saw last night, in as much detail as you can manage, please. Yeah, I was here all evening. Nothing happened. I have to remember something. Think. I hope he does, or I'll be a little stuck. Well, I guess there was that one thing. Excellent. Please go on. I went home pretty late. On my way past here, I saw Hugh. Outside the Hall of Mirrors. Hugh? Yeah, I was heading inside, actually, mumbling something about leaving the light on. The light? Was it on last night? Yeah, I don't know why though. Maybe that's why Hugh was going in to switch it off. Did you notice anything else? I didn't see anything. Not even... Well, see that oil by the door to the Hall of Mirrors? That wasn't there when Hugh went in last night. I see. Well, that's very helpful. Thanks, Ricky. Wait, there's one more thing. As I was walking away, I heard a loud squeaking noise. I guess it was probably the Hall of Mirrors door. Wow, you turned out to be useful after all. I mean, thanks again. So, Hugh went into the Hall of Mirrors to turn off the light. The oil wasn't on the ground when he went in. And the door let out a screech when he opened it. What does it all mean? So, yeah, we can now enter the Hall of Mirrors, I believe. Let's see what the notes say now. Yeah, red nose. I found a clown's red nose on the ground. Oil on the ground. There was some oil spilled on the ground by the door. And light, the bright light of the Hall of Mirrors is visible through the single window. Alright, I'll be lurking for now, but I'll try to check back later. Have fun. Alright, see ya. Thanks for joining. Okay, so let's just go move inside the Hall of Mirrors. Well then, marks on the ground. There are some black marks on the ground. Looks like someone tried to wipe something away. Oh yeah, what's the general thing he has to say about this place? This is the scene of crime, alright. Alright. So, okay, let's go with a more notable thing first, the broken mirror. The mirror has been broken down one side. The door into the hall is not visible in the now shattered reflection. Glass shards. There are some shards of glass on the floor. There don't seem to be very many. Blood. Hope it's not Chris's blood. There is a large blood stain on the floor. Understandable, really. Okay, so that's kind of it. Now that we've figured all that out, let's represent the clues. So, yeah, the old toys. Let's see what he has to say to that. Nope, nothing. Okay. The books. Nope, nothing. The green marker. Nope, nothing. Okay. Red nose. You might want to show that to Ringer, the clown. The clown? Oh, yeah, as I said. Okay. Oil. Oil spilled on the ground. That oil. It definitely wasn't there last night. Not when I saw Hugh, anyway. Wait. Where was the clown nose? The clown nose was over here. It's, you can still see it right here. So, yeah. Okay, so, the oil and the marks on the floor that we found inside. Those marks, they're not normally there. Nope. Okay, good to know. Broken mirror. The mirror has been broken down one side. If you stand in front of it, the door into the hall is not visible in the now shattered reflection. I was wondering. See, the mirror was smashed down one side, and it's a big crack. There's, where's the rest of it? Yeah, so, he's gonna talk more about the broken shards. Shards of glass on the floor, there don't seem to be very many. There's no blood on the shards either. Nope, nothing. Okay, I guess he doesn't talk about it. But yeah, that's the thing. There's less shards on the floor than there would be from a big broken mirror like that. So that's kind of the thing. Okay, I think that's all we can do here for now. So let's move on to the big wheel. Okay, I don't think there's anything besides just the general thing about the environment, so there aren't many clues back here. Well, he literally says it, so alright. Talk to Pete. I guess you just happen to know that it's Pete, I guess. Why, hello there, young man. Can I help you with something? As a matter of fact, you can. I assume you know all about the murder last night. I'm afraid to say I do. Such a terrible loss. One can barely comprehend it. Well, one is gonna have to try. You're the mechanic, right? Peter Noobhat, at your service. I believe you've met my niece, Mandy. So now we know Pete is Mandy's uncle. Your niece? Oh, yes, I have. Glad to hear it. I hope she was polite to you. So this is Mandy's uncle, the mechanic. I wonder what I can learn from him. Okay, profile. Yeah, so we now, for Mandy, we have Mandy's uncle is Peter Nubhat, mechanic. And for Peter Nubhat, we only have the location, the big wheel, and his occupation as the mechanic. So, let's talk about him with the usual subjects. Last night. So, if you don't mind me asking, where were you last night? Well, let's think about that. For most of the evening, I was fixing the back of the funhouse, as always. But I remember leaving... No. But I remember leaving relatively early. Thinking upon it now, I'm quite glad I did. Did you see or hear anything suspicious last night? Anything at all? Well... I did catch a glimpse of young Ricky and Charles arguing, so that's the entertainer and the clown, right over there by the Hall of Mirrors. The entertainer and the clown. Okay, I guess he just reminds us for me. Ricky and Charles were arguing outside the Hall of Mirrors last night? What about? I'm not normally one for eavesdropping, of course, but I think it was something to do with being popular with the children. And something about a red nose. I can't remember much else. We will return back to Charles to talk about the red nose. Let's just focus on getting a lay of the land first. I can't remember much else. Maybe you should ask them. I should definitely go back and ask Ricky and Charles about that. It might be important. Okay, so I think Charles does not get on... no, we already knew that. Yeah, Charles and Ricky were seen arguing outside the Hall of Mirrors on the evening before the murder. And also with Ricky Warrer. Yeah, seen arguing with Charles outside the Hall of Mirrors yesterday evening. So, those have been updated after talking with Pete. The Fairgrounds. Have you worked here long? Oh yes, a very long time. I've seen many staff members come and go, but Gary normally knows how to run things. Gary? Who's that? Gary Coyles, our boss. You'll probably find him in his office, so that's something to keep in mind, Gary Coyles. Yes, he's usually capable of making the right decisions. But not always. Is anyone? Does he want me to answer? Oh good, he looked away. I'm no good at rhetorical questions. Well then. Alright, staff relations. How well do you get on with the rest of the staff? As well as could be expected, apart from... I've been known to argue with Charles on a couple of occasions. But most of the people here are guilty of that. He's so difficult sometimes. Sounds like Pete doesn't have much love for Charles the clown. Okay, something to keep in mind. Fairgrounds date. So, you like the way things are run around here? Most of the time, yes. I think I could say that. I'm not the only one to think that the funhouse has seen better days. Welcome, Vanilla Ninja. Someone is popular. Well, we'll see. Thank you for joining. Hugh never really enjoyed his job. I don't think. Hugh let the funhouse fall into the state of Hugh let the funhouse fall into a state of disarray. Yes, I'm afraid so. My niece Mandy often complains of it to me. Oh, hello. My cat is okay. My cat has decided to walk in. Hold on. Yes, go ahead, buddy. There you go. Okay. I tell her not to cause trouble, but I know she could do a better job any day. So, Pete knows of his niece's desire to run the funhouse. Something to keep in mind. Okay, and yeah, so now we have a bit more about Pete Nubhat. Doesn't get on with Charles Ringer, and dislikes constantly having to fix the funhouse. He thinks his niece Mandy could do a better job at running it. That's all the usual subjects. Let's go over the clues. So, the old toys. What does he have to say about that? No, I'm afraid I don't recognize it. Okay. What does he have to say about Mandy's books? Yes, Mandy needs her books. You should ask her about them if you want to know about it. So, we already did, but yeah. The green marker. Empty game stall. A green marker pen. It is nearly used up. I've not seen it before. You may as well throw it away. The ink has nearly run out. Okay, well, that's his opinion. Alright, the red nose. A clown's red nose, complete with strings. You're telling me this red nose was found outside the scene of the crime? Gosh. That is really bad news for Charles. I assume he has his reasons. Maybe you should show it to him. Well, we will, after we've gone over everybody. Okay, oil. Oil spilled on the ground. That oil must have dripped off the roof. I'm pretty sure it's been there for quite a while. Alright. The marks on the floor in the Hall of Mirrors. Honestly, some people just don't know how to keep their shoes clean. I bet it was that idiot Charles Ringer. Okay. Broken mirror. Yet again in the Hall of Mirrors. Which is the crime scene. This whole affair, it really is a terrible shame. Alright. Now for the broken shards inside the Hall of Mirrors. Look at all that glass. Someone should sweep it up before it does any damage. You know, there's not all that much glass, considering the size of the crack in the mirror. What? Sorry, I must have gone to a daze for a moment. Alright. I think that's all we can do here. Let's just move forward to the food court. Alright then. Let's see. So there's a... Yeah, we can move to the toilet. There's a sign. There's a bin. Let's talk. Let's see what Grimoire has to say generally about this place. This place is a food court. I'm not sure I'd want to eat here myself. All right. Let's not move to the toilet yet. This sign. They appear to have some sort of chili dish on special. All right. And there's a bin. Oh, what do we have here? Yeah, dumpster diving. This is historically something that... Well, historically, this is factually something that detectives have to do, so there you go. I found a pair of blue wire cutters in the bin. Alright. A pair of blue wire cutters I found in the bin. Alright. Okay, talk to Jerry. Are you Jerry Spears? The police tell me that you were the one who discovered the murders last night. Lol, evade. You got it. That was pretty scary stuff, I tell you. I can imagine. You're the cleaner here at the fairground, am I correct? I prefer the term refuge engineer, actually. How's that for something to add to your resume? Refuge engineer. Oh, sure, I'm sorry. You look quite young to be working here. Too young to be working at a fun fair? Most of the guys here are too old, that's what I say. Yeah, I am the youngest person here, but being young has its perks, you know? Cleaner or not, I have a feeling this guy is gonna have some important information on him. Yeah, alright. So, let's talk about the usual subjects last night. Obviously, I'll need you to recount the events of last night. You're an important witness. Don't worry, man. I've been going over this in my head since last night. I haven't forgotten a single detail. Well, that. I stayed pretty late. I was cleaning up around here all evening. Eventually, I went around the whole fairground to give it a final clean. That's when I went into the Hall of Mirrors and found you. You weren't the last person here, though, right? That's right. Mandy was still here, working away, so I ran to find her. We called the police, and as soon as they'd arrived, after we gave our statements, we were allowed to leave. And that's it? Yeah. Why? Did I forget something? So, yeah. Jerry was one of the... Jerry Spears, food court cleaner. Jerry was one of the last people left at the fairground last night. He was cleaning the food court all evening. Jerry discovered Hugh's body whilst going through the fairground for a final cleaning. Jerry is the youngest member of staff at the fairground at only 17. He never said he was 17 specifically, but there you go. The fairground. So, you normally stay around the food court? Naturally. This is the area that needs the most cleaning. Did you notice anything else yesterday? Seems like you'd have a pretty good view from here. A good view? You bet. I did notice a couple of things. I got here real early, you see, before the boss. I saw Pete coming from the direction of the office in the morning. He put something in that bin there. So Pete was the one who, yeah. And then went into the toilet cubicle. Is that right? I bet he probably scribbled some stupid message on the wall in there. People are always using it as a message board. Guess that's something you do. Honestly, it's just extra work for me, you know? Sounds like I need to check out the bin and the toilet cubicle. Okay, so that's a clue to check the toilet cubicle, but let's go over the fairground state. The fun fair is so run down. Has it not been shut down by health inspectors? Oh, how has it not been shut down by health inspectors? I get that a lot. Why have they even employed a cleaner, you're thinking? Apparently the abandoned look is very popular with kids these days. We create everything to look old and rusted and dirty, but in fact it's all incredibly clean. Okay. That table behind me is only a couple of days old. Hold on. How do you tell when things really do get dirty? Oh, well, yeah, you see... I guess I have no idea. It makes my job easier, don't you think? More time to take in the sights. The sights. Alright. Let's talk about the sights. What do you mean by the sights? Oh, well, trees and birds and whatnot. Stuff like that, right? I haven't noticed a single tree or bird since I've been here. I think Jerry is hiding something. I love this part. Get the truth. Alright, so again, we're gonna... That's really such a cool amusement part of the abandoned world. Yeah. Honestly, there's some kind of charm to it. Okay, so get the truth, but I'm going to let it fail first so I can read the dialogue, and then I'll... Okay, this might be a bit too much actually. How about... let's see if this light works like this better. Yeah, I think that's fine. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna let it fail first. Oh, whoops. Okay, no, that's a different kind of fail. Alright, get the truth. What is it that you love to stare at all day? Or should I take a guess? I just sort of go into my own little world. I'm only a kid, that's what we do. I think it's something a little more specific than that. Like, what? There's nothing, just give it up. Okay, I think he said okay at the end. Oh, wait, there's nothing, just give it up? Okay, just give it up, okay? Okay, I'm missing something. Get the truth? Okay, so, let's actually get the truth. What is it that you love to stare at all day? Or should I take a guess? I just sort of go into my own little world. I'm only a kid, that's what we do. I think it's something a little more specific than that. Like, Mandy Farrier? What? Why her? What's so special about... Okay, I can't. I give in, I can't help myself. She's so perfect, can you blame me? You stay in the food court so you can stare at Mandy all day. Don't you think that's a little... creepy? No, but I'm the least creepy person you've spoken to at the fairground. Yeah, we'll see. Don't you judge me so harshly. Don't worry, kid, I won't say anything. Still, maybe you should get a hobby or something. Oh yeah, I accidentally... Nobody does weren't all stalkery. Exactly. I accidentally skipped a little dialogue, but that's fine. Don't worry, kid. I feel so old. Anyway, Jerry, creepy as he is, wasn't lying about that. I guess he's only young. I wonder what Andy thinks of him. So yeah. So he is pronounced innocent now. At least innocent for the crime. A little bit stalkery against Mandy. So, yeah, so you notice Jerry likes to stare across the fairground because he has a clear view of Mandy. Okay, so that's all we have here, I believe. So before we go to the clues, let's actually go to the toilet first. Get some clues there. Everyone is creepy. Exactly. Well, it is a murder mystery. Everybody has to be creepy in some shape or form. Okay, so the toilet. So, is this the aesthetic, or is it just that dirty? Okay, so what does he have to say about the toilet? Yay, I'm in a toilet cubicle. My glamorous, high-profile detective life is going smoothly. Okay, let's see. We have drawing and we have writing. Let's go with the drawing first. There's a drawing depicting Hugh getting hit by lightning. It has been drawn in green pen. Green. Okay. Yeah, so here's Hugh. literally says Hugh here. Him as a stick figure, I guess. And lightning. So, it says here, let's see. Clowns rule. Clowns suck, I think. Yeah, so clowns rule, but that got strike through, so suck, and then that got stricken through rule. Then it says give it up, and ha with a punch thing. So yeah, very mature, everybody. Writing. There's an argument written on the wall about clowns. It seems to have been written by 2 different people. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind with the different colors here. That's it in the toilet, so let's go over the clues with Jerry. So, the old toys, what do you have to say about that? Sorry, I can't help you with that. Okay, what did I say about the books? Mandy always brings those books into work. As soon as things quiet down around here, she gets them out and begins to read through them furiously. Yeah, so we already know why, because she's studying for college right now. Green marker. Sorry, can't help you with that. Okay. How about the red nose? Sorry, I can help you with that. Okay. How about the oil? That oil was there when I discovered Hugh last night, but I hadn't noticed it before then. So yeah, it's only after finding Hugh is the oil there. I probably would have cleaned it up if I had. You still haven't cleaned it up, so you're not one to talk right now. Marks on the floor. I noticed that oil smear when I went in and discovered Hugh last night. Oil smear? Yep, looks like someone hastily tried to clean up an oil spillage. It hasn't really worked. So yeah, Jerry says it's an oil spill. Pete says that it's because someone had a dirty shoe. So, something to keep in mind. The broken mirror. That's the mirror, alright. I noticed it's only broken down one side. What's that about? Alright, the broken shards. Don't you think there should be a few more shards than that? Where's the rest of the mirror? Yeah, again, I asked that question already, so... The wire cutters that I found in the bin. Did you find that in the bin? If I'm not mistaken, that's the exact thing that Pete put in there yesterday morning. So yeah, Pete, again, Pete is the one who put it there in the bin. He came from the office. Maybe he borrowed some off the boss. Okay, so... that's, what was the name of that guy again? Yeah, the boss. Well, we'll see the boss next, so we'll have the name again after that. Okay, the drawing. So, a drawing depicting Hugh getting hit by lightning. It has been drawn in green pen. Sorry, I can't help you with that. Okay, so how about the writing then? An argument written on the wall about clowns. It seems to have been written by 2 different people. Sorry, I can help you with that. Okay, so that's all we can do with Jerry right now. Let's move over to the Fairground office. So yeah, this is the boss. Gary Coils, that was his name. But yeah, let's look over this place first. So, this office is a real mess. I wonder why. I could ask Mrs. Coils about that? Mr. Coyle, but yeah. Okay, so there's a wardrobe. There's a wardrobe here which holds the costumes for use in the fairground. That's also added in the notes now in the main office. Yeah, there's a wardrobe here which contains various costumes. Let's see. The wire. The wire providing power to the water cooler has been cut. Okay, there's a calendar. The calendar on the wall says, "Get home early" on last night's entry. Maybe I should ask Mr. Coyle about this. And the pen pot. There was no green pen in this set of pens. The pot looks like it has been knocked over. So yeah, there are different colors, but not green. So the green marker probably came from this one. That's all we can find here, so let's talk to Gary. Okay, so he says, "How did you get in here? This is a staff-only area." I just sort of knocked and you opened the door for me. Do you not remember? Yes, I remember now. You're the local inspector come to sort out this mess, right? You'll see he kind of has a dodgy memory, which to be honest, I kind of have that too, so we'll see. I prefer detective actually, and yes, that's right. My mistake. I was led to believe detectives wore hats, that's all. I don't like this guy already. To be honest, at this point, you should not like anyone if everybody keeps talking about the hats. I'm Gary Coils. I run this fairground. Probably not for much longer with the way things are going. Yeah, keeps talking about the hat. But again, that's why I wear the hat. A murder in my very own grounds. I can imagine it must be difficult at times, but that's where I come in, you see. I'm wondering how helpful this guy is really going to be. Still, it's my job to try. Okay, so let's talk about its usual subjects. Last night. Would you mind explaining to me what you were doing yesterday evening? Yesterday? Well, oh yes, the murder. I'd quite forgotten. I remember myself being annoyed yesterday. Quite dehydrated, yes. Alright, I should have also interacted with the water cooler. I remember coming in shortly before lunch and putting the various costumes into the wardrobe like usual. Okay, so he put the various costumes into the wardrobe. So Coils brings in the costume himself, and he arrived shortly before lunch. Anyway, it was quite hot out, you see. My office gets awfully stuffy in the sun, and I couldn't find any way to cool down. That's, well, all important, I suppose. When did you leave in the evening? I was there later than everyone else, and go over the fairground for a final check before I leave. Well, I normally do. I think I did last night. I don't see why I wouldn't. There was nothing special going on. Well, we saw the calendar that he was planning on leaving early, so Coils is unsure about when he left last night. Maybe there's a clue in there, somewhere that can somewhere that can help me with the truth out of him. Get the truth out of him. Oh no, I guess the wire just is just what's the water cooler. Okay, so I'll just continue talking to Gary, the fairground. Okay. Have you been the manager of the fairground long? As long as I can remember, to be honest. So, about 5 minutes then. I take great pride in ensuring a safe environment for all my staff and all my public. Some of the staff had been urging me to get rid of Hugh for a while. Did you know he was nearly completely deaf? I didn't actually. Actually, we did. We've already heard that. But who was trying to get rid of Hugh then? Well, neither Charles nor Pete particularly loved him. He caused more problems than he solved, that's for sure. Doesn't sound like Hugh was very popular around here. But who was it that finally decided to get rid of him? Okay, your office. I noticed your office was in a bit of a mess. Doesn't particularly surprise me, but there's no harm in asking, right? Yes, well, I can assure you I keep this office pretty tidy under normal circumstances. I haven't really had the time to clean up recently. Yeah, so it's a Flash game. There are some typos, as you can see. So the mess is your fault. Well, who else would it be? There is one odd thing. My favorite green pen has gone missing from the pot on the desk. So yeah, confirming there was supposed to be a green pen in there. It probably got lost in a mess somewhere, but I noticed it disappeared from my room quite suddenly yesterday. After I came back from lunch, I think. So, was someone in here during the time Coils went to lunch? Yeah, so that's a time frame where someone could have entered, taken the green marker, and left. That's it of the environment. Let's go over the clues. So, the old toys. What does he have to say about that? I really haven't got a moment to spare to help you with that, sorry. Alright, well, you're being helpful. How about the books? I really haven't got a... same thing. Green marker. He definitely has something to say about this. Hey, that's my pen. It went missing last night. It should be with the others on the desk. Hold on. It's nearly run out. Someone had been using it. Yeah. Alright, the clown nose. That's one of Ringer's noses. I keep loads of them spare in the cupboard. So, yeah, okay. So, there are also multiple of these noses in the cupboard. Something to keep in mind. He's always losing them. I have no idea why. Okay. How about the oil? I really haven't got a moment to spare. Yeah, okay. So, that's the same thing again. Really haven't got the... How about the mirror? Ugh, don't remind me about that. What am I supposed to do? Not helpful, but okay, sure. At least it's something else. Broken shards. Ugh, don't remind me about that. What am I supposed to do? Okay. How about the wire cutters? I really haven't got he's not the most helpful sort right now. The drawing. Really haven't got a moment to spare. Really haven't got a moment to spare to help. Okay, so that's not... How about the cut wire? Yeah, that's something inside his office. He has something to say about that, right? You're telling me it's not broken? It's been sabotaged? This is an outrage. So yeah, someone sabotaged the water cooler specifically. Water coolers just aren't safe anymore. I'm glad I'm not a water cooler. Yes. Okay. Alright, pen pot. There was no green pen in this pot of color markers. The pot looks like it has been knocked over. Yeah, that's the pot with the missing pen. I need all primary and secondary colors, damn it. Alright. And now for the calendar. So, Coil's calendar on the wall says get home early on last night's entry. So I said, I normally stay late and give the fairground a final check before I go home. The calendar's clearly reminding you to go home early last night. Did you or did you not leave early last night? Well, you know, a bit of both. Coils is definitely hiding something from me. Time to get the truth. So, get the truth, gonna fail it. What the fuck, dude? Yeah, I know, right? Get the truth. Okay, so, get the truth, gonna fail it so I can read the dialogue, and then we'll go for the actual truth. You told me you normally give the fairground a final check over before you go home. You think something was luring you away from the fairground early last night? Would you mind telling me? I don't know. I've never been good at timekeeping. As far as I can remember, I didn't. Jeez, it goes a little bit too quickly for me. Hold on. Let's go over it again. You told me to give the fairground a final check over before you go home. I think something was luring you away from fairground early last night. Would you mind telling me what? I don't know. I've never been very good at timekeeping. As far as I can remember, I didn't leave particularly early. There's nothing I can think of that would drag me away. So, you know, that's it, right? Okay, let's actually get the truth now. Alright. I mean, nothing. Except maybe, well, spill it. Okay, I admit, I rushed home early last night to watch the Star Explorer all-night marathon on Channel 18. I'm sorry. Wow, channels. Can you remember TV like that? We're old. You... what? It was wrong, I know. I just couldn't let a viewing opportunity like that pass me by. My fellow explorers would laugh at me. Well, I suppose you've, learned your lesson? This guy's a little weird, but he's not lying about this. Not for a second. Okay, so, I think he should... No, he's still a suspect. The only innocent right now, or at least the one marked as innocent right now, is Jerry Spears. Again, in terms of the crime. About the whole stalking thing. We'll see. Okay, so, we've gone through all of that. Okay, let's go over the map. Before we continue going over all the characters with all the new clues we have, let's actually try to enter the funhouse first and get some clues from there. Truly, these are amazing minigames. It was a tight squeeze, but I got through. I hope there's something worthwhile in here. Okay, so, what's the general thing about this room? This place is just as run down as everywhere else. Okay, the window? It's possible to see the Hall of Mirrors window through the window here. I can see that light is on. So, yeah. That's something to keep in mind. Whoever is a culprit could have used this spot in order to look at the Hall of Mirrors. Let's see. There's a mirror here. Move outside. File miner. Let's go over the mirror first. Oh. Would you look at that? Whoa. This has to be the murder weapon. And what's this? A brightly colored rag tied around the glass shard? 2 clues at once. So yeah, that's the clue of the rag as well as the clue of the murder weapon. Murder weapon, funhouse office. The murder weapon is a shard of broken mirror. It has blood on the end and a rag tied around the middle. So the rag itself. The torn rag that was tied around the murder weapon. It is brightly colored, but it has black marks smeared over it. Black marks. Okay. How about this file binder? Alright, here's another amazing minigame. Oh, nothing over here. The victim's to-do list. It has been added to with a green pen. So yeah, it's very likely the murderer also used the green pen that we found. So here's the to-do list. The victim's to-do list. It has been added to with green pen in different handwriting. Next to the third point, fix funhouse, the green note says, yeah, right. Alright. I think if we actually, if I don't go so quickly, we might be able to actually oh, yeah. The moment you, oh, whoops. Let's enter here. The moment you actually Oh, no. Okay. So, yeah, I guess we're unable to actually read it, but we'll just take their word for it that it's been added to it with... Yeah, right. Okay. So, we have all the clues now, so now we can go over all the characters and see what they have to say about all the clues. Alright, Charles. First of all, the argument with Ricky that we heard about. Big Noobhat told me that he saw you and Ricky arguing outside the Hall of Mirrors last night. Now, this sounds like a serious matter. Would you mind telling me what it's all about? Ricky and I are always arguing. It's no big deal, really. He's just the argumentative type. You're better off grilling him about this. Maybe I should ask Ricky about this, alright? Okay, that's everything about the subjects we can talk about with Charles. Let's go over the clues. So, we haven't shown any of the clues to him at this point. He was the first one we found, besides the little girl, but she's apparently not the murderer. Good to know. So, the old toys. What does he have to say about that? Is that gonna help me out? Doesn't look promising. Okay, how about the books? Is that gonna help me out? Blah, blah, blah. Okay. How about the green marker? Is that gonna... No? Okay. The to-do list. Is that gonna help? No? Okay. How about the frickin' murder weapon? Do you have something to say about that? That's the murder weapon? Looks pretty sharp. Could you even hold that without hurting yourself? Alright, so, how about the rag, which is like the most directly linking thing to him? The rag. It's a piece of cloth ripped from your clown costume, that's what. Why do you have it? It was found wrapped around the murder weapon, I'm afraid. Looks like your luck has just run out. Wait, I can explain. I get my costume from the wardrobe in the boss's office. He brings in the costumes when he comes into work and places them in the wardrobe. I arrived at the fairground just after lunch. I went in to get my costume and found that it had a hole in it. Besides, look at this rag. It's really not like me to damage my own clothes. It's covered in some black stuff. I suppose it would be pretty stupid to wrap the murder weapon in your own clothes. Why didn't you go and talk to the boss, Mr. Coils? He's normally in his office just over in the corner of the fairground. So yeah, something for us to keep in mind. If we see Mr. Coils again, we can show the rag. Anyway, red nose. Yet again, another thing that links to him. I don't know what that is, I'm afraid. I'm not so sure about that, as this red nose was found outside the crime scene. There's only one guy around here with a red nose, and it's not Rudolph, if you catch my drift. Okay, so it's a red nose, but I have no idea how it got there, honestly. I'm certain Charles is holding something back, but why? The truth, yet again, let's fill it first. This red nose was found outside the scene of crime. Could you tell me why it was lying on the ground instead of on your face? You're getting on my nerves, you know, shoving stuff in my face is like that. Because I never lose my red noses, okay? You know, shoving things in my face like that. Besides, I never lose my red noses, why would I? Okay, that's what he said. I'm almost certain Charles is holding something back, but why? Alright, time to get the truth. Alright, I'll tell you why it was lying on the ground, if you really must know. Success. It didn't fall off my face. In fact, it was pulled off yesterday by some of the kids that came to the fairground. Okay? They were making fun of me, and I was just trying to keep my cool. Are you happy now? That's not the sort of thing you'd happily make up. I think I can believe Charles on this one. Okay, so I guess that's... Seems weird that the boss takes the costumes home with him, especially because he went home early yesterday. Were all the costumes there to take with him? Something to keep in mind. Let's see. I don't think they specifically said... I'm not sure if he actually said that he took it home. Or I guess... I don't think he takes it home. I think it's that he always brings new costumes with him to the wardrobe. I think that's what he meant with that. At least that's from what I know. No, okay, yeah. Okay, so that's the red nose. Let's go over the oil. Is that gonna help me out? No, the marks on the floor. Is that gonna help me out? Broken mirror. Can't believe such a thing would happen at our fairground. I mean, it's not exactly perfect, but a murder? Okay, so that's his opinion on that. Here's the broken shards. Is that gonna help me out? No, apparently not. How about the wire cutters? Is that gonna help me out? Oh, maybe. The drawing. Someone drew that on the bathroom wall? That's a pretty stupid move, if you ask me. What a nasty shade of green, too. So that's a hint that it's with the green marker, in case you missed it. Okay, writing. So the argument written on the wall about clowns. Let's see what he has to say about that. Yeah, I'll admit to that one. Ricky and I were always arguing about petty stuff like that. It's childish, I know, but hey, this is a fun fair, right? Alright. So he at least admits it's an argument between him and Ricky, I guess. Cut wire. Is that gonna help me out? No, apparently not. How about the pen pot? Is that gonna help me out? Apparently not. How about a gown? Is that gonna help me out? No. Okay, so that's everything about Charles. Let's see. Charles is now declared innocent, as far as the game is concerned. Okay, let's go over to Mandy. Okay, we have one subject to talk about with her, and that's her uncle. Because now we've actually met her uncle. I spoke to your uncle, Peter Newhat. You could have told me that the mechanic was your uncle. Did I not mention that? I don't really think anything of it, I guess. Uncle Pete's a good guy, he works hard. Sometimes a little too hard, I think. So, dislikes constantly having to fix the funfair hat. I don't know what exactly is added. But yeah, okay. That's it in terms of... Oh wait, I think it's the profile. Yeah, okay, she's declared innocent because we now have all the information, or all the information from just talking to her. But let's go over the clues. We've already talked about the old toys, talked about the books. We haven't talked about the green marker because that came after this. So. That pen was lying there when I got here this morning. It's not normally there. Is it important? Okay. How about the to-do list? That green writing isn't Hugh's handwriting. It looks familiar, though. Okay, so she finds the handwriting familiar. I wonder why Mandy has seen that other handwriting before. Alright, the murder weapon. Is that the murder weapon? Ouch. I hope this place doesn't become a haunting ground now that there's been a murder. Poor Huey. Did she just call the victim Huey? I must be imagining things. Alright. She calls Hugh Huey. That's something to keep in mind, I guess. The rag. I haven't got a clue. Huh, that's kind of funny, what I said. Don't you think? I have to say no. So, yeah, this is her standard quote that she says if she has nothing to say about something. So, here's Red Nose. Haven't got a clue, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Oil. Haven't got a clue, blah, blah, blah. This is something that Tangle Tower does a lot better. Tangle Tower has actual special dialogues for every clue, even when it doesn't pertain to them. So, that's quite fun. Marked on 4. Haven't got a clue. Broken mirror. Haven't got a clue. Broken charts. Haven't got a clue. Wire cutters. Those belong to Uncle Peter. I know because I bought him the complete set for his birthday last year. So yeah, he put it in the bin, and it's also actually his. We know because Mandy is revealing it right here. Why were Pete's wire cutters in the bin? What was he using them for? So, yeah, what could he have been using it for? Okay, the drawing. Haven't got a clue. Writing. Oh, Charles and Ricky are always arguing. They're both pretty nice guys, really. Nothing ever comes of it. I guess they really do argue all the time. I suppose it's not important after all. Okay, the cut wire. Haven't got a clue. Okay. Sheesh. There's a sneeze. Does it? Okay. I guess not. Okay. Pen pot. Haven't got a clue. Calendar. Haven't got a clue. Okay, so that should be everything about Mandy, but we already had her declared innocent anyway. So Charles Ringer is also declared innocent now. Let's talk with Ricky Moore. Oh wait, yeah, we already got everything here, so let's just continue to Ricky War. Okay, so the fairground. Can you tell me anything else about the fairground? Can't think of anything. We're all one big happy family. Yep, that's right. Is that so? Yeah, well, a few people thought Hugh was a waste of space, but he kind of was like the fun house is a tip. He was kind of like, okay, so, but he kind of was like, the fun house is a tip, yeah, that he wasn't good at his job. It's not really safe. I remember Farrier always said she could do a better job of running it. Yeah, so just a reminder, the fact that Mandy said that she could do a better job of running it. Other stuff. So, you're sure you get on with everyone here at the fair? Yeah, I just kind of keep to myself, usually. I'm not thoroughly convinced. Oh, wait, no, not clues. Argument with Charles. Pete told me he saw you and Charles arguing outside the Hall of Mirrors last night. Can you explain yourself? I don't see what. I don't really argue much. Ricky's holding back. Should I push him? Alright, so get the truth. Let's fail first. And actually try to read through it, because they're very fast about this, turns out. You, a suspect, were seen arguing outside the scene of the crime with Charles, another suspect, on the evening of murder. You're going to tell me about it. That's not an answer. I don't see what... I get on fine with Charles, no problems. Okay. I missed something. Alright, let's actually get the truth now. Oh, yeah, there we go. You're lying. I'm certain you don't get on with Charles at all. Hey man, no need to shout, like I said. Tell me the truth now. Right, well, I don't get on with Charles. We do argue, it's always the same. The kids make fun of him and also. He gets annoyed, tries to take it out on me. Nothing ever comes of it. Nothing. Well, I suppose that clears that up. I'm beginning to think that this argument was a red herring. Someone is trying to distract me. So yeah, who started off suggesting we look into the argument? Alright, let's go over the clues. Nope, nothing. So yeah, that's his standard thing. Nope, nothing. Nope, nothing. Oh, so the green marker. That green writing. That's not Hugh's writing. Why is it there then? Okay, how about the to-do list? That green writing, that's not Hugh. Oh, yeah, is that the same thing? Why is it there then? No, nothing. Oh, okay, so he was talking about the to-do list specifically. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. There's no handwriting when you just have the green marker. Alright, murder weapon. Is that the murder weapon? It's come from the smashed mirror, right? Mm-hmm. The rat. That's not mine. No way. It belongs to Ringer. Yeah, but we already went through all that with Ringer, so... Red nose. You might want to show that to Ringer. We already did. Clown? Yeah, we already did, so... The oil. That oil definitely wasn't there last night. Oh yeah, we already showed that. We already showed the marks on the floor. We already showed the broken mirror. We already showed the broken shards. The wire cutters. We haven't showed that yet. I've seen that. On a belt, I think. So the drawing. Why? Oh, I don't know what that is. Sorry. So, okay. The writing. Alright, I'll admit. Ringer and I have our little quarrels. See, I drew a picture of some kind of, some kid pulling off his nose, right? That's gold. So this graffiti has come from Ricky and Charles, yeah. We already kind of figured it out, but yeah, here's confirmation. The cut wire. Nope, nothing. The pen pot. Nope, nothing. The calendar. Nope, nothing. Okay, so that's everything here, and yeah, he's also declared innocent now. So, let's go to the big wheel. So, we already talked about all the subjects with Pete, so now we just have the clues. Okay, so, old toys, we have already shown all that. We have also shown the green marker, I believe. Yeah, okay, yeah, you already shown that. Okay, so, the to-do list. Good old Hugh, trying to be organized. I don't think he ever completed any of his list, you know, so... It's been established it's not Hugh's handwriting at all, and Pete immediately points out that it's supposed to be Hugh that wrote this. Suspicious. Alright, the murder weapon. Well, that's a murder weapon. That's a weapon, all right. It looks very difficult to hold. What if the person was wearing gloves? I suppose. Then I suppose they'd be able to hold it. The rag. That's nothing to do with me, young man. I don't even know what that is. He looked away from me when he said that. Oh yeah, we already showed it. Yeah. So, oil, marks on floor. Okay, the wire cutters. We found that afterwards in the bin, and it's pretty much established it was his. I don't think I've ever seen those before. They're a little dirty. Where on earth did you find them? In the bin, actually, by the food court. Well, I suppose that explains why they're dirty. It doesn't take a genius to see that Pete is avoiding the obvious here. Alright, get the truth. Let's fail it first. These wire cutters, I'm quite convinced they've come from your tool belt. Jeez, no, very good. What do you think? Well, they could have fallen off any tool belt. They're not even the right color. So yeah, that's what I said. I'm missing something. Get the truth. Quite convinced they come from your tool belt. What do you think? Well, they could have fallen from any tool belt. They're not even the right color. They are exactly the same as all the tools on your belt. There's even one space empty. So one space empty here. Oh, well, I suppose you're right. They must have fallen off my belt when I was having lunch and someone found them and put them in the bin. I'm not convinced at all. Still, seems like that's all he's going to say on the subject. Yeah, we already know from Jerry that he outright saw him put the thing in the bin. So, okay, that's the wire cutters. The drawing. Graffiti put there by some untidy youth, no doubt. Right. Honestly, Ricky and Charles are so immature sometimes. Alright. Mr. Cole should really take greater care over his belongings. The pen pad. Why on earth would you show me that? So, here's the thing. It's not his... Wait, I think he only has Lear's calendar. No, I'm afraid I don't recognize it. Yeah, so this is the only one where he really has no actual comment on. Everything else he has some kind of comment on, so that's something to consider. So, the food court. We already talked to Jerry about everything, so let's go over the clues. We've already shown all that. We haven't shown it to do this. Sorry, can help you with that. The murder. I guess that's what happened to the rest of the smash mirror. Yeah, okay. So, confirmation. Here's the rag. That's part of Charles' costume, and it's covered in oil. That's really odd. Charles is one of the cleanest people I know. Maybe you should go show it to him. We already did, kid. Okay, the red nose, the oil, broken shards, wire cutters. We already showed the wire cutters. So, and we've already shown this. We already showed it. Okay, so the cut wire. Sorry, can help you with that. Alright, how about a pen pot? Sorry, can help you with that. Counter. Sorry, can help you with that. Okay, now we go to the office. Gary, water cooler. You told me you couldn't find a way to cool down yesterday. What about the water cooler over there? You're quite right, of course. The water cooler you refer was in fact broken when I came into work yesterday. Not knowing much about these things myself, I called in Pete, our mechanic, to fix it. I think that was around lunchtime. I left him to get on with it as I went to lunch. You left him in here alone. Did he fix it? Come to think of it, he didn't. I really should press him on that. I didn't see him again that day, actually. So Pete wasn't here alone while Coils went to lunch. Okay, let's go over the clues. Yeah, so the to-do list. Hugh was always writing to-do lists and then never to doing them. Wait, what's that side note? It looks like it was written with my favorite green pen. Okay. The murder weapon. You found a murder weapon. Yikes. Does it help us out though? Here's a rag. That rag looks like it comes from Charles' costumes. It's got a nasty black smear on it. That's not like Charles at all. Okay, we've already shown all that. We've already shown this. I think we've already shown... Yeah, okay, so that's everything. Let's go over the profiles. Innocent. Still a suspect. Innocent? Innocent. So yeah, I think it's pretty clear now what's going on here. Oh man, it's such a difficult mystery to solve. How can you possibly figure out who did it? I know, right? It's so difficult. Anyway, let's go. Here's Officer James. Hey, it looks like you've got your suspect. Are you ready to give your final conclusion? Alright, so if we say not quite yet, we still have a chance to just look around, review everything, but we pretty much know everything, so let's do this. Who was the murderer? Was it me? That's you, Grimoire. You're not admitting to murder, are you? Charles Ringer, the clown. Manny Ferrier, game stall clerk. Ricky Warrer, the entertainer. Don't even think about it. Pete Nubhat, the mechanic. Jerry Spears, the cleaner. Gary Coyles, the manager. Yeah, so. What was the murder weapon? It was a clown nose. No, it's the bloody glass shard. Oh wait, that's okay. These soft toys, these books, this green marker, this to-do list, this bloody grass shard, this dirty rag, this red nose, this spilled oil, this black mark, this smashed mirror. I mean, technically, these glass shards, these wire cutters. I hope not. I really don't think so. This cut wire, this pen pot, this calendar. Honestly, that would be quite something. Okay. It was Hugh. No, Hugh. Why is Hugh always the one doing all this? Okay, so the bloody glass shard. The first thing Pete did was to cut the wire for Coyle's water cooler. He left his wire cutters in the bin outside. His first mistake. But why did Pete cut the wire from the water cooler? Because he hated his boss, Gary Coyles. He needed to test out his new wire cutters, so he would be called in to fix it. He only likes warm water during the sales, because he called in to fix it. Coyles then arrived, bringing with him the costumes for the day. So I guess he just has... So I guess he does kind of bring it with him. Huh, that's something to keep in mind, but... Yeah, but we already know that he notices that the water cooler is broken. He calls in Pete to fix it during lunch. Pete goes to the office, takes the green pen from the desk, and rips a section off Charles' costume. He eventually uses the pen to draw a picture. Oh, hello, Safini. Thanks for watching. Okay, Pete drew a picture with the stolen green marker. Where? So, in a toilet cubicle, in a hall of mirrors, inside the funhouse office, or in the empty game stall. So it was in the toilet cubicle. Oh wait, drew a picture with, yeah, the picture was drawn. Yeah. By this time, Charles has arrived. He goes into the office and takes his ripped clown costume from the cupboard. Later, Pete visits the Hall of Mirrors and to smash the mirror. He takes the largest shard that falls and wraps it up in Charles' rag. That's why there were less glass shards than there would be from such a big burst. Why did he wrap the glass shard into a rag? So he wouldn't lose it? So he wouldn't hurt his hands? To frame Charles Ringer? Or to frame Ricky Warrer? Well, here's the thing. So he wouldn't hurt his hands. We already established he wore gloves, so that's not it. It's to frame Charles Ringer specifically. You're right in time for the reveal of this very first game. You'll definitely understand everything. Yep. Before leaving, he leaves on the main light. He then hides in the empty game stall where he accidentally leaves behind his green marker. Hugh sees this Hall of Mirrors light through the window in his office. As he goes in to turn the light off, the door lets out a loud squeak. So how did the oil end up outside the Hall of Mirrors? It had been there since that morning, because Pete oiled the door before going in. It had dripped from the roof. That's specifically what Pete said. Because Hugh had oil on his shoes. So yeah, it's because Pete oiled the door before going in order for it to not squeak. Pete follows, but as not to attract any unwanted attention, he hastily oils the door to silence it before entering, causing a spillage by the door. Hugh has been distracted by the broken mirror, but cannot see behind him, for the mirror is cracked down the side that would normally reflect the door. Where did the black smears on the hall floor come from? They're dried blood from Hugh's wound. They've always been there. Pete left it there on purpose as a clue. Pete wiped up more oil to create the smears. Yeah, so Pete stabs Hugh in the back with the glass shard. On his way out, he notices he has spilled more oil on the floor. He hastily wipes it up with Charles' rag. That's why it's rag. Before making his exit, Pete hides the murder weapon along with the oily rag behind the frame in Hugh's very own office. Alright, Grimoire, what was Pete's motive for murder? He wanted to frame Charles Ringer. He hated having to fix the funhouse. He wanted Mandy to run the funhouse. All of the above. Created by Super Flash Bros. I'm working it with one brain cell today and haven't eaten to fuel it, so it's just funny noises and images for me. Good enough. Yep. I like these little animations here. Action scripted, wow. Yeah, voice acting, Ego Raptor, so that's something for people who know. So yeah, compared to the next games, this ending is quite abrupt. It's just, there you go, he's the murderer, that's it. There's a bit more to it in the next games. Yeah, we'll just switch back to the just chatting as I prepare the next game. Okay. So yeah.